Hello there. Well, welcome to the EMS Safety Foundation's introduction to Rettmobil 2012. Rettmobil is going to be taking place in Fulda, Germany between May 9th and May 11th. And we're going to tell you why you should come and join us at Rettmobil 2012. I'm going to show you a little about Rettmobil, but first of all, what is Rettmobil? Well, Rettmobil is a major EMS congress that takes place in Fulda, Germany, sort of like EMS Woodstock. Their website is rettmobil.com, and this is the size of Rettmobil. It's huge. It is a major European Emergency Rescue Congress. It's a trade show and a symposium. It's held every year in Fulda, Germany, which is just north of Frankfurt. It was established in 2001 and usually attended by about 20,000 people, but a bumper year is expected this year. It is the brainchild of Professor Sefrin. Professor Sefrin is the chief physician of the German Fire Services Association in Würzburg, Germany, and he's the founder of Rettmobil. And here's a photograph of Prof. Sefrin last year at Rettmobil. And this is what greets you as you arrive. And that's a bird's eye view. The place is huge. Lots of people to see there, even beautiful countryside. And May is a great time to be in Fulda, Germany. The weather is usually fabulous. And as you can see, there's a real mix of people. Everything from casual clothing to suits. And opportunities to see vehicles of all types and shapes and sizes, and many different approaches to solving the problem of getting the best possible EMS service and system. We're very fortunate that the EMS Safety Foundation actually participated in Rettmobil on a number of occasions and even was recognized on the Rettmobil website for our efforts. And here's some of our team who participate in Rettmobil. It's Jim Foster from Anchorage, Anna Schauer from Duluth in Vienna, myself, and Chris Fitzgerald. You'll be hearing from him in just a moment, who's our ergonomist with the foundation. We try to bring a very multidisciplinary team, everyone from ergonomists to EMS operators and educators, industrial engineers, podcasters, EMS service directors, all meeting together, as well as some industry partners. And we record a webinar, and feel free to have a listen to that. And if you're interested, you can sign up at this website and join in our delegation. The EMS Safety Foundation is really there to fill a gap in what we know and what is known and what we do and how we do it, from the sort of non-clinical elements of EMS operations, focusing on transport and patient handling. In a nutshell, it's a not-for-profit think tank and testbed for safety innovation, and a way of enhancing the safety of how we deliver care. So I'm going to show you a few shots of us just at Rettmobil as a team, some of our interactions there in our booth with Anna Schauer at Duluth, and some of the many vehicles that you're going to see there, many different types of vehicles. And I'd like to hand over now to Chris Fitzgerald. Over to you, Chris Fitzgerald. Chris is the Director of Human Factors and Ergonomics at the EMS Safety Foundation, on its Advisory Board and Technical Expert Panel, and is the CEO of Injury and Risk Management. Chris, the microphone is yours.
Thanks very much, Dr. Levy. Great to have this opportunity to provide people about an overview of Rettmobil. And one of the key features outside of the massive opportunity for collaborating with like-minded colleagues globally is we get to test new and innovative methods for evaluating physical work demands and postural movement. And here's one that we used last year from a company called Dorsey in Melbourne, Australia, where we were able to rig myself up with this low back movement and activity sensing device. And then I was able to wander around each booth with my colleagues, Dan and Andrew Ronke, to test the different devices on offer, rather than just accept them at face value. A lot of the Foundation's core values are about measuring what's done, what people are required to do, or the environment in which they're operating. Whilst a big focus of our work is on ambulance design, we're also very interested in one of the major sources of injury or injury risk for paramedics, and that is physical work performed outside of the ambulance. Clearly, once we're inside the ambulance, the Foundation's values are restraining people and seating them in forward and rearward positions and restraining devices. But certainly a lot of Rettmobil gives us opportunity to go outside the ambulance and test various equipment and various methodologies as well. Here's an example of us doing some testing on a CPR dummy, and we're able to get some data about what are the true demands in terms of your lower back for CPR. And again, furthering that through at the Furno stand there, we're able to test their new Mondial, their independent leg stretcher, to evaluate some of the demands of raising and lowering that stretcher in particular. And here's back to the vehicles, a fine example of how simple but effective ergonomics can enhance posture and movement. And so these items are able to be slid out on a vertical drawer, deliverables, much more accessible, able to be taken and returned by paramedics before and after use. So, classic example, and of course there's some novelty items at Rettmobil, so there's some very sort of almost light-hearted interpretations of ambulances, and we're well aware of two-wheeled ambulances, motorbike ambulances being increasing in popularity, and this one looks a little bit more like the sort of Batman's version of an ambulance. And here's another good example of that collaboration, again to highlight one of the key values of this attendance, or the capacity for you to come to Rettmobil, is to collaborate with a whole range of either technical people or people involved in education, design, and even the manufacture of ambulances. And you get to see some I'll go back one slide, you get to see some very innovative devices. This is a device that's to overcome snow travel, and rather than having to fit the chains, you're able to activate the chains so that they have the same effective chains and enhanced grip. And for some people in some environments, that you'll see some very different elements of Rettmobil, where you'll see the high visibility clothing, which is a state of normal situation once you're in Europe, and see how the paramedics and people are dressed in that way. And here's just another example of Dave Turner, one of our colleagues, an educator, sort of able to go around with Dave, and we can evaluate and provide feedback and discuss various features of design and how they may impact the design for where we're located and operate from. And I'm going to hand you now back to Dr. Levick to continue the discussion.
Thank you very much, Chris Fitzgerald. That was great. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to hand you over to Ronald Rolfson, who is on the advisory board.
Chris. What we also do at Rettmobil is having a workshop.
Rolson's going to be presenting a workshop that we took to Rettmobil and held under the umbrella of the EMS Safety Foundation. And Ronald Rolfson brought this beautiful vehicle down from Norway. And just one moment, we'll put Ronald Rolfson on the microphone to speak to you about this vehicle and the workshop. Ronald Rolfson, over to you.
Thank you, Nadine. One other thing we did at Rettmobil was having a workshop. I brought the newest ambulance we got in our service, and to get people from around the world to evaluate the work we have done. And this is based on a standard Sprinter chassis. There is no modification to the vehicle as such. It's only being the equipment built into it. And in the front, we have been very keen to put all the equipment for the driver around the steering wheel, so that you can operate the blue light and siren lights from here. You don't have to move your head away or your hand a long way from the steering wheel. Also, the radio equipment and the computer is supposed to be used by the attendant. And also on the left-hand side, we have some heavy equipment mounted, and all the equipment is mounted in so low that it's very easy to move and take in. And all the equipment you need outside the vehicle is there. You don't have to go inside the vehicle to get it. The same here. And also we have moved the partition wall a little bit, so it's you can use the room behind the front seats. And this is the rear of the ambulance. And what we try to achieve is to bring all the equipment you need to treat a patient here on your right-hand side. So it's actually the patient, the paramedic, and the equipment close together. So you can sit there with your seat belt on, and you will reach the equipment you need, and you can treat a patient. If you look down here on the floor, you see a red lever. If you push that, you can actually move the stretcher forward in 2 steps. So you can get the patient more or less a meter away from you. The loading height is so that a modern stretcher with the self-folding legs goes straight in without lifting too much. And also one of the heaviest equipment you got, the chair, is also located on the floor, so it's easy to reach. So what will happen this year, we'll bring the next generation of this vehicle, and you all will be able to evaluate it and criticize on it, so we can learn more. And I hope to see you all again in Germany this summer.
Thank you very much, Ronald. Thank you very much, Ronald. And not only will we be having Ronald and Chris join us, but we have the luxury of Carl David Bates from First Few Moments, who's providing media and tech support and podcasting. So great opportunity, and here's Carl Bates doing some podcasting at last year's Rettmobil. We also have our staff meetings at this gorgeous place here at the Goldene Kaffner Hotel, and we hold our workshops there also, and here's our workshops underway. These occur after hours, before or after the Rettmobil session is open. We keep you very busy. It's an action-packed 4 days for the delegates. But we also make sure we feed you as well, and we cover all your needs. So we are a great group of folks who have a great time. We work very closely with the people at Messe Gallery, and here we are very fortunately being supported by Christian getting our internet set up. So here we are packing everything into the vehicle and sharing our thoughts and wishes with everybody who's over here in the United States and outside the rest of the world, so they have an opportunity to join us either in person or online. So if anyone's got any questions about Rettmobil, just let us know. This handout will be awaiting you at the EMS Safety Foundation website and also on Objective Safety. So thank you, and look forward to seeing some of you online or in person at Rettmobil 2012.